Hey everyone, and welcome back to Episode Club. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a backtrack, but we're going to talk about Season 7, Episode 2, Stormborn. And joining me today are two people who've joined me in the previous episode before, and they're no strangers to the channel. So, whoever gets unmuted first gets to talk first, like rules of last time.
I love when you started this. AK was like already unmuted, so I thought, okay, so she's gonna start it first. But nope, she immediately went to unmuted, so I might as well. Hey, all, Phantom D Saint, the artist formerly known as BBM, your Cersei lover and watcher on the Funko Pop wall. Glad to be here to talk about episode 2.
Freaking Cersei lovers. But hello, people of the YouTubes and around the realms and such. Lord Commander AK here to talk about this episode with two of my favorite peoples. So let's not waste any more time on introductions. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. So we can start off where the episode starts off if you want, and we talk about all of Dany, or we can talk about Cersei and her kind of quick scenes, or we can talk about Winterfell. Where do we want to go? Or Old Town? Where do we want to go?
I'm good for going by region and getting each region out the way.
Where do we want to go first? Which spot do we want to pick?
You can always start in King's Landing, you know.
Yeah, let's get the blondes the hell out the way, so I don't have to deal with them for the whole episode, please.
So we get Cersei talking to basically noblemen of the Reach, more specifically Randall Tarley, about Daenerys and the Unsullied and the Dothraki, and pretty much how they're working on a solution to get rid of Daenerys' dragons, which then leads us basically to, I guess you could assume, the basement of the Red Keep, where we see skulls of previous Dragon Kings. So, what do we think about that?
I'm just upset that they disrespect the Balerian's skull like that. I didn't appreciate it, and I hope Qyburn gets stabbed by like Drogon's tail spike or something in retaliation. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm just happy they actually have like something to combat the dragons, because Randall Tar was like, well, she has like 3 dragons here, and I was getting ready to hear either something smart Cersei would say or something, but no, she just looks toward the Kyber and he's like, well, we're coming up with something, and it actually shows this thing, and immediately my mind flashes to it wasn't Decimation Schmalk, even though they kind of did show it there, but in the Battle of 5 Armies in the beginning, when they're actually using a type of ballista weapon against Smog. So immediately I'm just like, okay, will that be enough to take down a dragon?
Well, we know that it should have been enough, and I don't understand honestly why Qyburn was saying, well, we're working on it. You should have just been able to go look in the history book and find the schematics on how to build a scorpion, because they've been used to take down dragons before. This isn't some like new thing he came up with. This is a weapon that's been used multiple times in their world. So I don't know why they're treating it like he's just this genius that came up with something cool. He's not.
I don't know, just to give him more lines, maybe like an extra line or two, just be like, or to make him smart or whatever. But yeah,
as long as he doesn't kill Cersei in the end, I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
so like one video saying that, this whole time he's killing Cersei. I'm like, of all people, you're
slightly poisoned.
It comes down to either his life or Cersei. I guarantee you, he's giving up the ghost. He is not going to stay there and sacrifice himself for Cersei.
No. And the fact that, because when you look at Balerion's skull, it's like, isn't Drogon's basically the same size? So it's like, or like look like it's almost relatively the same size.
Drogon isn't quite as big as Balerion was just yet. He's getting there though. He's getting there.
I think I think Johnny said that he's supposed to be like the next Balerion almost in terms of size, like Balerion come again almost for Dany. So yeah, it's just the fact that it's like she starts Robert liked to look at them because they were basically his trophies. It's like, He didn't do anything.
He didn't, because that's Robert though. It doesn't matter that he didn't do anything. He could get drunk, go grab some bitches from the brothel, walk them all around the castle. You know how he likes to be boisterous and whatnot, and be like, "Look at my dragon skulls. Let me tell you how this one died." And I guarantee you, the tail he'll spin is the most ridiculous yet awesomest sounding thing ever. And them they hoes, man, they gonna eat it up. So I can't blame Robert for that.
I liked it because it fit his character. It fit his character of just hating Targaryen. So just for him, just to like say, "Oh, these are like my dragons," so it's like, no, it's not really yours though, but it fit it.
Like,
right, like I mean, they were there when you got there, so I guess technically they're yours. But you know, okay.
Yeah. Although technically, by blood, technically they are his dragons in a sense, because Baratheons also have Targaryen blood in them.
It's
so
still a stretch,
it's a stretch. But his
Baratheons were just better Blackfires.
I think his grandmother was a Targaryen, so
his grandmother. But then we go all the way back to Orys. Yeah. He was half Targaryen too. At least that's what the stories say. So,
yeah, it's just the freaking scorpions. But before then, there's like the whole thing of assuring the what was it? The like having Jaime talk to Randall Tarley, and he wants to assure the alliance with the Reach. And Jaime's like, "Yeah, we need to establish a secure ruler of the Reach when the time comes." It's like, yeah, but then Danny kind of fricks that up later. So who's now going to rule the Reach almost in this scenario? Yeah.
I mean, it would probably go to what the hell was Salisa's house? Was she a red wine or
no? It's like some S something. Let me look.
I believe her family and like 2 or 3 others were in the close cousin realm, and they were always griping because they thought they should have been higher than Aegon put the Tyrells. So one of them is probably going to, at least they're going to lobby for it if the realm actually stays together. If the Reach is just going to be on their own thing, like the other, kingdoms, if they all break apart again, who knows? I think it's just going to be whoever actually manages to take Highgarden and can hold it.
Mm-hmm. Selyse was from House Florent, which I believe has the fox on their sigil.
That sounds about right.
I think. But yeah, like I think in the show they might just give Sam that like Highgarden, or at least the Reach, because of the fact that none of these other houses in the Reach have ever like come up. So the fact to give it to a random house it
would make sense. I mean, if that's what they're going to do, I
question whether. Unless, like, the sisters, like, just become
something
female led. Yeah.
I question whether the whole realm will be a realm, though. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Because you have to because with the studying of Highgarden that it did for Johnny's channel, it's like you need somebody who can at least handle the Reach in terms of everything. Because that one small area feeds majority of Westeros, so it's like you have to have someone who's
connected. It's a lot of organizing.
Connected to the kingdom, who's believes in the ruler and wants to establish proper farming. Like you gotta pick someone reliable. So maybe Sam, or like someone in Sam's family. I could see that because they kind of established that was Cersei, but who knows? And in this too, we get the introduction to Dickon Tarley, who we talked about before.
Fucking Dickon.
It's like, what's your name again? Dickon Tarley. It's like you get, oh my god, it's just like why? But anyway,
I want to know why they picked this like fully grown ass man to play this kid that was just a teenager last season.
He was recast.
I understand that, but why that guy?
I don't know why the other
guy. They could have
picked
someone younger looking.
Time in Game of Thrones has been the same, so at this point, could have just been years.
Yeah, because it's only in real time, well, so and so, it's been 10 years, but in the show, I think, because in the show, the kids start out as like 14, or like Sophie's like 13, 14, but on the wiki, she's accredited by being 20 years old. And I think John is like 22, 23 or something like that, because Arya is 19. Accredited
I mean,
to be like
I get how their age progression was showed, but when we first saw Dick in the previous season, he looked like he was maybe 16 or 17, and that much time hasn't gone by to the next season for him to literally be a full-grown ass man.
High school, when it's like one summer and everything changes. That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, puberty don't do that.
They just exasperated it a little.
Yeah, I mean, I like the actor that they picked. He was actually he played a key part in the Barbarians series that the History Channel did. Mm-hmm. But I just don't think he was quite right for that role. But anyway, a little tidbit. I'm sorry.
We're going off. But it's fine. Yeah. It's a valid point of like, hey, like, especially if you were marathoning the last season and then just caught this episode, like when it was
right. Like, wait, hold on, what the fuck just happened? What did I miss? It's like we missed 2 seasons in between that.
Like what? Because anyway. And then I think the last bit, this. Oh, it's just that Daenerys' dragons can have been wounded, and that Qyburn's like, yeah, we'll deal with that when the time comes. They can be wounded, they can be killed. So, if you want, we can go and get the really weird stuff out of the way, which is Old Town with Jorah being cured by Sam, or we can talk about Arya and her quick scene with Hot Pie.
Yeah, let's get Jorah the hell out of here too. I don't give a damn if he's cured now. I still stand with T baby. He need to stop touching shit.
I just love the scene when he was like writing the letter. At this point, I was like, wait a minute, he's not gonna actually like send that actual letter. Is he gonna, just rewrite it? Because if Dany touches it, it's done.
It's like, can someone rewrite this but don't touch it? Like, put it here and then just burn it, right? Like, write it right away. But the cliff notes of this is that Archmaester Ebrose and Sam just look at Jorah's grayscale and they're like, we can't help you. But Sam decides that he's going to help Jorah. So, this was really gross, and especially with the scene that it kind of is back to back with, you're just like,
yeah, D&D love to do these damn gross outs. Like, they are legit still some freaking frat boys playing around at college. Just bastards. But yeah, I mean, the scene was what it was. I guess Jorah has plot armor, even though it got covered with some grayscale. Sam chipped it away, so now he gets to go back and wallow in the friend zone.
Michael Easy.
I liked it because we were seeing like, what Sam is like, quote unquote, learning. But at the same time, it's like, okay, that was pretty plot armor-ish, literally. How he was able just to do it off the cuff. Because he just like literally just went in, learned the procedure, did it. Success rate. Because before the other dude, Archmaester, like tried it. I don't know if he was a regular Archmaester or just a regular Maester. Tried it, he dies.
Yeah, so, he got the grayscale.
Well, it took a while for him to die, though. He was actually curing them for years. But then in the end,
he was?
The disease finally caught up with him. If I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I think so. It's like that eventually he caught it himself and couldn't cure himself. It says
which really fucking sucked, because who else was studying this shit while this man was over here? Didn't he have an understudy or a partner, maester, or somebody that was paying attention? Why couldn't they save him?
I don't know.
Game of Thrones, man.
It's like, let the person
If you're helpful, you die.
I was hoping he would have transitioned to saying Ebro saying, oh, I was his understudy or something, or it was like helped him or something, and then because he saw it, he was like, you know what, maybe we should just quit the whole thing altogether. But I don't know.
It was because like after he died, the procedure became forbidden. But I think this whole scene with Sam and like cutting off. I think it's A, to be gross, but B, to show that, to call back to like season 1 and season 2, where it's like, I read it in a book because I read a lot, and I read it in a book, like how he talked about how he feels like he can handle a woman giving birth because he read it in a book. He feels like he can handle taking care of people because somehow he read it in a book. So it's just that sort of payoff of like, well, I read the instructions and I did it. So it's like,
I mean, who knew you could just read the instructions and shit could work? Oh my goodness. I mean, this is a new phenomenon here.
It's mind-blowing technology. But yeah, no more yellow shirt for Jorah. That's been incinerated somewhere in
I would hope so, because seriously, bruh, you don't put that stuff back on. I don't think we can save you twice. At least not from this anyways.
No. I don't think so. But yeah, and pretty much that because the Archmaester Abros talks about how he was writing a story in the history books and about Robert's rebellion. It had a really boring ass title, so I feel like Sam will obviously write to complete the story or make his own version, and we'll see like
something more poetic.
Yeah, this is the song of ice and fire. Bum, 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 bum.
See, I don't know. I feel like that could be almost like a Frodo Sam situation. Like Sam will start it, but because now we know that Gilly is getting her learning skills up, I feel like Gilly's going to be the one that's actually telling or teaching about this story in the end.
Yeah, because John and I have been, and you probably know this, but we've been tossing around that idea of that all of the usual suspects who are suspected of writing the books will write it, but it's Gilly who will be the voice of this story, telling
Agreed.
it kind of old Nan style. And Baby Sam is kind of like Willis / Hodor in the respect of this kid doesn't grow very much or say anything for the age he's supposedly at, and because it's just it would wrap that kind of story in a nice bow. And because Gilly Flower, and she likes to sing, if I remember correctly, in the books. So, yeah.
I'm gonna wish that boy the most horrible death next to freaking Hodor parallel.
I was gonna say I don't think little baby Sam's making it out of this story. One way or another, the life that he has now is going to end.
Yeah, and that the Night's King is probably just coming for baby Sam in all reality, because what was season 2 when Sam kills that white or the white 4 or the White Walker 4, like, did he get baby Sam because it wanted baby Sam and then doesn't want to touch John? Like, there's so much, and then just getting Maester Aemon get himself Gillyflower, like
yep.
It's gonna be sad, but it's what it is. And anyway, but yeah, Jorah's not gonna die, and Sam's like gonna help him just because it's Jorah Mormont and his son, and the repercussions that it may happen with this next season, especially after episode 5.
If there's an outbreak of grayscale, I'm kicking someone.
Kick D&D and be like, you idiots.
I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna find a way to send them a damn howler like Mrs. Lee sent to Ron. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, damn it, but if that fuck shit happens, somebody's getting a howler from AK.
Yeah. And this will have to be like the fact that what happens in later episodes has to be addressed, because and John will be in a complete conflicted situation. His best friend saved one of his new friends, so it's like, and it'd be like, and his girlfriend / aunt is just caught in the middle of this, so it'll just be like, I don't know, but it'll be a freak out to say the least. The next place I go is Arya in the Riverlands, and we find out that Hot Pie is still alive, and Arya receives some news and all that. So
Hot Pie might be the only motherfucker from the very beginning of this whole story that actually survives. This kid has like gone beyond, above and beyond in survival. Seriously, I mean, he works at one of the most dangerous damn inns in the whole of the realm, and he's still kicking, and he's happy about it. Sitting there talking about, don't forget the brown to butter. Word. Everybody else is so uptight about who they're going to kill or scared because they're going to get killed or get sent to war or something. And Hot Pie's just over here like, yo, I got to make this sauce.
just got to brown the butter. And then Arya's like, I didn't do that part. Did you make
You've been making pies, Ari. Yeah, lately.
Just one or two.
Fucking phrase. They deserved it.
Yeah. They did. Oh, they deserved it, but yeah. It's cool to see Hot Pie again. And if we got like the obligatory welfare check on Hot Pie, it's like, okay, he's still alive. Mm-hmm. All right, we're good.
And interesting enough, like Arya and Hot Pie didn't even hug. I thought that they did, but rewatching, I'm like, oh, shit, they really didn't hug or anything.
No.
I mean, it's look at the frame of mind that Arya was in right then and there. She wasn't hugging nobody.
No, she
exactly.
The only person
that's what I thought. When we saw Arya reunite with Sansa, I thought that, wait a minute, did she even like hug Hot Pie and like watch this episode? Like, oh no, she didn't. Like, he was shocked to even see her there to begin with.
Yeah, the only person Arya wanted to hug in that moment was Jon.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Which we'll get in season 8. I'm sure of it, because that's a thing. God damn it. But yeah, and we hear that. We now know that in terms of time logic, that
and frozen.
That it takes. Guess we forgot.
Can you repeat that?
We need you to start all of that over, please.
Oh, it's because the two guys that were behind Arya in at the crossroads, they're like, oh, it's 200 miles to get to King's Landing from here. So it's like, now we know how long it takes for them to get from the end of the crossroads to King's Landing if we forgot. So
I don't think that was even necessary. Everybody knows that the whole realm uses Littlefinger's travel services, getting you where you need to be, no matter distance, time, or physics. You're going to get there when you need to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing that I loved about this Riverland scene, it's cool seeing Hot Pie, but it was even cooler seeing Nymeria. And I really, 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 really hope that we see Nymeria and the pack come through this season for something.
They're gonna be the Eagles. We need.
I would be okay with that.
They're gonna come out of nowhere. Someone's gonna be saying, "The direwolves, the wolves are coming."
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying when I was when me and Lauren were on with Secrets of the Citadel and JR. On the 5th day, they will look towards the east, and it's gonna be Arya riding in battle on Nymeria's back, coming to save everybody, or at least get everybody to the next save point in the series, because we know this is going to be way more than just 2 battles.
Yeah, we'll get at least 2 land battles and then at least 1, maybe 2 sea battles. Who knows? But yeah,
I think we'll have a sea battle.
Yeah, Euron versus Theon 2.0.
That's not really a battle. Theon's got what? Maybe that 1 ship. Euron's got a whole fleet plus the Golden Company.
It's gonna be a battle to the death. Doesn't care about winning. It's gonna be some type of battle. Hopefully D&D. Just give me that.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
Yeah,
we shall see.
It'll probably be like again a version of that, and then that's the one time that Theon loses his life. Maybe, I don't know. Trying to save Yara. Who knows?
I am so worried about Yara. I know this is off topic, but I am so worried about her. She's probably sitting somewhere with her tongue cut out, tied to somebody's mast.
Now she got to have at least her tongue just for some type of dialogue. But if we don't, damn.
Yeah, well, because there's the whole Euron with the silence, which is such a book thing.
Yeah.
But we can talk about Euron and the silence when the scene happens, because that's at the end. But we'll talk about Nymeria and the fact that she shows up and Arya's like, I'm going to Winterfell. You want to come with me? And Nymeria is like, no.
Not today. Not today.
Not today. And it's like, that's not you. And I know there was a lot of people who were like, what does she mean by that's not you? And there was videos of probably about it. But like, what does she mean?
That hard. People, this is the thing. This is why, as Game of Thrones fans, everyone calls us crazy, because we will analyze the littlest thing to death. And sometimes, damn it, a sock is just a sock. Sometimes it's not always a puppet or some secret hiding something or other. No, Arya just understood that that's not Nymeria. She's not necessarily going to do exactly what she's told right away. Just like Arya, she's got to go off and find her own footing. That's it.
Yeah. And it's because Nymeria is not a domesticated dog. Like, she's free. She is like her namesake.
Exactly. Why would she just go ahead and jump right back on the path? First of all, that's never been her MO. Second of all, it's been like a decade. She's been ruling the Riverlands, pretty much. Why the hell would she put herself on a leash like that?
Yeah. Especially when she got her super pack. And you kind of see in that one short scene.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing her next season. I really, really hope we get a decent scene with her.
Yeah. And Ghost. Like, the two, like, those two remain. Yeah. It's like the sibling reunion that everybody's like, is like, huh? Maybe we get this? I don't know. But it'd be kind of funny.
Maybe some white direwolves as well, and it'd be a whole epic fight there.
White direwolves.
I don't want to see Summer.
Come on, we need these moments where we're going to be like, oh my gosh, why you did this to
My
us?
heart is going to be breaking enough. I don't want to see Summer. I don't want to see Hodor. I don't want to see any of that. And I know them bastards are going to make me look at them anyways.
Yeah. It'll be some version of that. Like,
it's going to break my heart.
Well, they already gave us white giants in episode.
Yeah, the only giant we cared about was 1-1. And 1-1 died at Winterfell. I'm pretty sure the wildlings burned him up.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't, why?
They're screwed. Yeah. But we might get White Rickon. I don't know, because John's like, bury him next to my father.
And this is, again, my issue with the damn Starks. I love them, but seriously, after the first long night when Bran was building all this extra shit, what the hell possessed you, Bran the Builder, to build a fucking crypts? You know that dead bodies can be raised, and it doesn't have to be like fully formed bodies. There are skeletons roaming around in the army of the dead. What were you thinking? Why would you give them like a whole army that they could?
Unless those that are buried in the crypts can't be raised by the Night King.
Unless there's magic in the crypts somewhere.
Well, there is magic in the crypts, and that's why they have those iron swords. And I speculate that this may be why there always has to be a Stark at Winterfell. But if there is no Stark at Winterfell, who's to say he can't just go in there and snap his fingers? I don't know. But for the way the show has set it up, it does seem likely that it could be Rickon that's chasing Arya. Arya's, she's a hardened warrior now, but she wouldn't necessarily want to stab her undead brother in the throat.
Yeah, it has to be someone that she is afraid of and doesn't want to have to put out of their misery, in a sense.
Yeah. And watch all of these speculations be wrong, and it's not even a dead anything. She's just running because of some plan, some relay race that they made up to get through the tunnels or something.
Or the only one I like is that Arya failed killing Cersei, and they're chasing after her. That's the only one I like so far.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something else. We were saying it's King's Landing.
Yeah, it's that debate of, is this in King's Landing somehow, or is this in Winterfell? Like, because we don't get any markers that it was in King's Landing, or if it was in Winterfell, like no banners or anything. So could be. But yeah, Arya, we leave her off at a good spot. That's not you, and going home, where she gets home in 2 episodes from now. But we can go up, I guess, to Winterfell, because that's another pretty short scenes, couple scenes. Jon and Sansa, as well as Davos, discuss Tyrion's letter to bring Jon south, and they're like, "Is Tyrion a good person?" Yes, he was good enough to me. And then they talk about the dragon, and then there's the council meeting for what they're doing next. Like, I got this letter from Sam, and I got this letter from Tyrion. This is what I'm going to do. Bye. And the Lyanna Mormont in this seems pretty funny too.
Lyanna Mormont is funny. I did like this, the majority of this scene, but I will say, fucking Sansa. Like, damn it, chick, cool your tits, please. Hakuna your fucking tatas for a second. Stop disrespecting this man and calling him out in front of large crowds and shit. If you and him need to talk, fine. Pull him aside so you and him can talk. Do not do all this extra uppity bullshit that you're on right now, because you're just fucking annoying and you make me want to smack you.
I didn't mind it, because again, even though Tyrion is not the typical Lannister now, it's still Dany, and like no one really had no interaction with Dany before, so it's like I'm on her side where she says are you sure you want to go? So I get it. And also, it's interesting how they said that, oh, we don't trust a Targaryen, just like a Lannister. And eventually they're going to find out that Jon is a Targaryen. So it's like, uh-oh. Mm-hmm. Are we going to be trusting Jon now? Is he going to pull something on us? And then on top of that, they're going to know that he bent the knee to Dany. So it's like,
And that's the whole thing with the folks in this world, where if one person was like an epic fuck up, then, oh my God, we hate the whole damn house. Really judge people by their merit, not just what is on their name. Now I get it, people think Starks are honorable because that's been the lineage of Starks. That's like a trait for them. Okay, cool, but you know what? Not all of them are great. But do we say no, all the Starks are bad because of these one or two bad apples they had? No. Okay, yeah, we all know Aerys was a fuck up, but that doesn't mean like the whole of House Targaryen sucked. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, they're all
freaking people at Westeros, man. Like, damn.
Yeah, they're like all bad apples. And when I think it's Glover. No, is it Glover? I can't remember who it says, but it's like a Target. No, it's Bronn John Roos. There was like a Targaryen cannot be trusted, and it's almost that thing of Tywin. It's like you're speaking to one at this very moment, or you're right. He's like you're being counseled at this very moment, but in the tone of you're speaking to one in this very moment. But yeah, like the whole Davos, it's like fire kills whites. There's what produces fire. It's like dumbing down Davos for 5 seconds. It's like, oh my God. Same thing with Dany earlier in this episode. They have to dumb down Dany for 5 minutes just to explain.
I mean, they did kind of need that, because sometimes when you talk to them idiots, you kind of have to talk to them like they're children to actually make them pay attention, unfortunately.
And yeah, it's like Tyrion, she's like, when they're talking about Tyrion's like, he's always been nice to me, and he was like a good husband, so in the show at least. And then when Jon brings up, it's like, I brought this letter 3 days ago from Dragonstone, and it tells me it wants to go. And the fighting and the discourse that's between the two of them, it's like, I can see why, especially rewatching it the time that I did for this, why Jon was withholding this information was because of, you can say it was her payback almost. From withholding the veils note, like Peter Baelish is like, yes, we'll come and save you note, almost at the same time. Like that's kind of like a balancing of the scales for that kind of fighting that goes on.
But of course Sansa was upset about that. Hey, bitch, pop, calling the kettle black. Calm down, damn it.
Yeah, and like a lot of people It's like, why did she do that? Why was she so angry and stuff? It's like she could have said this and all of that. It's like, again, it's for TV drama. If they can't, they'd have to have a separate scene of them talking about it, which they don't have time for. So they just like made them bicker and have that weird fighting. Also, it could be because we didn't get the scene of Arya and Bran and Sansa having a conversation to so discourse with Baelish. Didn't get to see that scene, so it's probably that was the scene that was done. Almost in a sense, like a similar scene could have happened because, yeah, I think there was another scene that was cut out where it's like,
yeah, it was a deleted scene.
Sansa goes to Jon's office and they have a conversation about a ruling or something like that while he's away. I think that's how it was, and then they just rewrote that scene and just put the arguing in. I think
because there must be drama.
It has to have drama, or else it's not considered a drama category. It's just high fantasy.
Exactly.
It's high fantasy. But Lyanna Mormont, we need the king in the north. That's why I think once Dany shows up, Lyanna's just going to be like, shut up with your titles. Because she'll be like a bratty 12-year-old by this point. Like, shut up.
You know what I would have liked to see, honestly? Why the fuck didn't Jon take Lyanna with him?
That would have been good.
That would have been some drama I would have liked to
see. Yes. It's like Lyanna probably would have been like, he's the king in the north and all of this stuff has happened and I was there to help. Like, it would have been so cute instead of Davos going, he's the king in the north. This is king in the north. She would have been his hype man to like the fullest potential.
Yeah.
And that would have been almost the Jorah reunion.
Yeah.
I guess it wouldn't even really be a reunion. They've never seen each other.
No, because he was exiled probably
before she was born. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But it would have been so funny. So now, like in season 8, I can totally be like, she gets all through Dany's titles and goes, you're stupid. And then it's like, now you're not a Stark anymore anyway, so now I'll follow your sisters. Like, Arya, she's a badass. Sansa, I can deal with her. Like, that kind of whole thing. And be like, you're just a weirdo. And it's like you bring a girl into this situation, and then you just go like guffaw over her for 5 minutes. Yeah, she'll read Jon like a book when they show up. Season 8. Because she knows how to read. I think
it's going to be funny. It's going to be funny.
And then, so we also find out in this that Jon has appointed Sansa as regent in the north, or Lady of Winterfell, until he comes back.
And all that arguing she was trying to do, she shut right the fuck up.
Of course.
She finally got some power. I'm going to be in charge. Okay.
She got what she wanted in the end. And then we get Baelish and Jon Snow in the crypts. And Baelish talks about how he loves Sansa and he loved Catelyn, even though Catelyn never loved Jon.
Baelish is sorely underestimating these Stark boys. I know you think, you got one over on Brandon, because I'm pretty sure it was Littlefinger that was whispering in Brandon's ear that said, his sister was kidnapped and sent him down south and whatnot. And he thinks he got one over on Ned, which he kind of did. But Jon is a whole nother breed of person after all the shite that he's been through. And we already know what emo Bran is. Bran creeped Littlefinger the hell out already. He should have known, maybe you don't want to go to Jon with the fuck shit either, because if anyone isn't going to be having it, it's Jon. He had no love for Catelyn Stark, but she was still the man he knew as his father's wife. You say the wrong thing, and yeah, I'm sorry, you get choked out. That's what happens. Especially when you put my little sister's name in there.
It's like King's Landing when season 1 with Ned Stark, and he just put into it was pretty much a great call back there. Just loved it. And really just did not belong in the crypts.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing in the crypts anyway, bro? You don't have full free range of this castle like you think you do. Fuck out of here.
That's kind of why I'm like, when you see Danny and John in the crypt, it's like, what are you doing here? Like, isn't he gonna be like, you don't belong down here? Like, kind of a whole thing like that. But yeah, it's the fact that he's just like, we never get to talk properly about, like, and he's like, you should thank me for freaking coming and saving you. It's like, not today.
Not today at all. Bran already done told you he's not Lord of Winterfell. Why you sitting here trying to make him take over from Jon? No, that's not going to happen. You can try to press the whole issue with Jon if you really want to, but in the end, you know what's going to happen? You're just going to get choked out again, bro. You don't want to do that. Just stop.
Yeah, you're just going to be like, no. But yeah, the whole choking with one hand thing is very much making Jon look like a reincarnated Ned Stark. But
he already had the hairstyle.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, maybe he'll end up like Ned eventually, but he'll have to go through the process of what young Ned had to go through, having to probably raise a child without their mother and kind of go through that cycle of raising a motherless child, but from a father perspective. It's the tinfoil slightly theory that I got going on, cyclical. But yeah, Jon kind of just walks out of the crypts after chokehold, and it's like, bye, I'll see you.
I'm surprised he didn't like snatch the back of Littlefinger's shirt up and drag him out of the damn crypts.
That would have been hilarious.
Like you should have seen Littlefinger just go flying into like a wall or something, and stay out.
Yeah, it's like you drag him all the way up from with the cloak, and then just like throw him in the yard in King's Landing. And Sansa's already up there, just like waiting.
Yep.
Like, bye. And bye. Which brings up...
He would have deserved it.
Yeah, he does. They deserved it. Come and see.
First episode already out on Johnny B. Crazy's channel. Check it out.
And yeah, the fact that Jon waves to Sansa but doesn't to Daenerys is such a big thing in the fandom. It's like, why did he do that, but not to the person that he's supposed to be in love with?
I hate that, because there's like so many people on Twitter I be seeing. They keep on shipping Jon and Sansa, and that's like one of the reasons why. I'm like, come on, just stop.
He's waving at his sister. Oh my goodness. He didn't turn around and wave to Dany because you know what? He had business on the mind. Oh, good Lord. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes the freaking blade of grass is just a blade of grass, man.
I'm just saying, it's just it's based off of the whole trope of like, if you don't see this person again, kind of thing. It's like, well, if you're supposed to love Duty, you think he'd at least just not. It's just Jorah that goes bye.
Well, maybe he wasn't quite really in love with her at that moment, man. I mean, when she came through to get to the north. And actually backed him up in the battlefield, that probably is where the change actually happened.
The D&D said that Jon was already was supposed to be in love with her by the time the cave scene happened. It's like, this is where Jon is supposed to be in love with Daenerys by this point. It's in the commentary. Yeah,
I don't think it played it that way. I did not get that vibe at all.
It's like in the commentary. It's like, this is where we see like Jon's actually the two of them are falling for one another is in this specific scene. It's just like,
wow. What? You see it coming from Dany. I mean, not really in that scene, not in the cave scene at all. But you do see it coming from Dany once Jon is getting ready to leave. But I don't think you see it from Jon until they actually get to the boat.
Yeah, it's like
what's his name? Davos, he made references to it. The attraction's there, but Jon was not in that mindset. He literally said, I don't have time for that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, because I listen to like the commentary and stuff when it comes out, and it's like, this is where they're supposed to be in love. It's like, what? It's like, because I think Kit is famous for saying that he didn't know, like it wasn't indicated in the scripts when he was supposed to act like he was in love with Daenerys. It wasn't indicated. It's like, this is
and you can tell that.
Yeah.
It's like,
wow, yeah, that's D&D trying to add drama later on after the fact. Like we just gonna let that shit slide.
Yeah, they messed up there. Try to course correct themselves.
It's like, yeah, it's like, now we're gonna do this now. It's like, okay, because especially in episode 5 where she's like, he's too short for me. It's like, well, like talking to Tyrion, and it's like, but anyway.
I mean, I don't know how John could be too short for her, though. Amelia is like what, 4'5", maybe 4'8" with heels.
I think her and Maisie are the same height, or like 1 inch difference in height, and I think Maisie's 5'2". I think.
Yeah, and John's still taller than both of them.
Kit supposedly is 5'9", and that's
really
what?
Sophie is 5'9". Like Sophie.
Yeah, I don't think. Kit is not that tall.
So it's like, I think it's like that he's like 5'7", 5'6", maybe, but it's like, yeah. It's like,
wow.
Because even with the boots that they make him wear, probably like for the shoes, it's like that adds maybe a couple inches of height. But yeah, they're like
not
short.
that much. Goodness.
But yeah, she's like.
But then I guess I guess Danny's used to climbing Drogo trees, so I mean I suppose it makes sense. Now that I think
Dario's pretty tall, relatively tall, like not as tall as Momoa, but as that actor. So anyway,
he doesn't factor on my radar.
But it's just that whole thing, and yeah. So we can talk about Daenerys, or do you want to talk about the sea battle that was the sea battle?
Sea battle, sure. Let's get that out, and then we'll knock out end off with Dragonstone.
Basically, we get the fleet of Daenerys' ships, which was just basically Yara's and the Sand Snakes, and they get attacked by Euron, and some Sand Snakes die. Boo-hoo. So long. Not gonna miss you. And Alaria and what's her name? Not Barthan. Yeah, Barthan get no, it's Tyene.
Tyene. Albara got killed.
Yeah. Tyene and Alaria have been captured along with Yara / Asha.
Okay. So like the beginning setup, like right before this battle happened, Alaria was putting the moves on Yara, talking about it's about to be a foreign invasion. And Yara, I fucking love Yara. Yara just sat there and looked at Theon like, bro, like she's literally throwing the pussy at me. I mean, can you like give us a minute? Like that, she just had that look on her face, and I was with it. I was totally here for Yara in that moment. It was a great scene. But then, fucking Euron came through and wrecked everything. I'm not really gonna cry over Obara or the other chick whose name I can't remember at the moment.
Obara and Nymeria.
Yeah. Not really gonna cry about them. Dorne was horribly written, and this is basically like the last of that horribleness getting put down, pretty much. I did. It was a bit poetic how they both died by the weapons that they used, that they mastered, and I thought that was actually a decent touch for their death. And here again is why Theon was number 1 on the they deserved it list. Damn it, the one fucking time your big sister needed you, the one time, you piece of shit, you bitched out on her. So fuck you, Theon. You still deserve it.
I wouldn't call it bitch out. It's a smart move because look at the options at this point. It's like surrounded by enemies, going up against freaking Euron. At this point, it's like, live to fight another day. David. Nah.
He fucking deserved it. What did those men say to him when they pulled him out the water? They read him for filth, and they were exactly right. No, you didn't try shit. You just ran. No, there was no, let me go over here, run away, and fight another day. There was no plan to be fighting another day. No, he was just running. He's a little bitch. That's why he deserved it.
And I guess
hate alone. Way to fight another day. He went. Is that else he could have done?
Oh shit.
Well, because if he had taken one step forward, Euron could have slit her throat. Like it's one of those weird things, right? It's like if you did
It's
one.
Yara. If Theon would have taken one step forward, Yara would have got her second wind, and she would have joined in the fight. They could have tag teamed him. I'm not saying that's the way it exactly would have happened. I'm just saying Theon was still a little bitch in that moment.
Yeah, it's just it weakens himself, and before John just has to give him that emotional speech of "you have to be a better person" kind of thing. It's like, and I think it's episode 5. It's like, "You're a Greyjoy and a Stark. Now act like it," kind of thing. But yeah, Theon just like is just floating in the middle of the narrow sea, and I think Euron had tied Nymeria and Obara to like at least one of the ships.
Yeah,
like
Obara was hung from one of them by her whip, and like right above her, it showed Nymeria like stabbed with a spear.
Mm-hmm.
She was basically impaled on it, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Which is
fitting.
Like, yeah, and it's like, do not mess with me, or this happens to you and your fleet. But yeah, it's like, oh, you're on with the silence, and then cutting out all of the people's tongues, which is a thing that he does in the books. That's just not really aforementioned in the show. Just like his eye patch.
And yeah, that's why he's still freaking Captain Guyliner, man. It's fucking Euron.
Where's the $2 eye patch from the dollar
when
store?
Funko makes a Euron Funko Pop, just draw a damn eye patch on it. There you go.
How does that help the show, young man?
At least helps you out of bed. Then you got your eye patch on him.
You know what? Shush. Just shush.
Like, anyway. Yeah, it's just this plot line is just man, could have been so much better, but it doesn't. And that's kind of the last time we have to talk about the Euron or the Sand Snakes in all of the episode recaps, because I don't think they're there much anymore. Or at least
No, I think, and we did the dungeon scene already, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
that was
the last of the Sand Snakes.
On episode club. That's the last time we get to talk about the Sand Snakes. Yeah.
Oh, shucks.
Mama.
Fucking mama. Oh my god, they need to die. But it's like, go protect your mother, and it's like, sure. And it's like, mama. It's like, go kill the mountain. Yeah, no, none of you can get to go do that. Cersei already heard that plan. It's not happening. Anyway. So, the last location that we get to go to, which a lot of the episode takes place in, is Dragonstone. And we kind of start off the episode, actually, with Tyrion, Varys, and Daenerys talking about herself as a child and everything Varys had done up until the point that Melisandre shows up. Now, is this conversation telling for what happens in season 8?
Most definitely. We're going to have a situation where the moment Varys learns that Jon Snow is the true heir to the throne, he's going to start switching towards allegiance to Jon. And if the moment Dany learns about this, she's going to pretty much roast Varys. And that'll be the end of Varys for season 8.
I don't think it's going to be that simple. I mean, technically, as it stands right now, you might as well still see Jon and Dany as a united front. I don't really think there's going to be too much, boo-hooing that Varys is going to be able to do.
Boo-hooing, like how he's going to find out about that Jon is Rhaegar's last living child? Like, with the fact that that Varys is like, I go with the people, and whoever the people thinks that it does right.
It's interesting because then he thought that Viserys, he thought he was pretty much rooting for him at this point.
Yeah, because
then he just moved on to someone else, pretty much only to the point that it lies his own interests.
Mm-hmm.
Ever
Even
since
if,
the whole situation where Danny like burned the Tarleys, at this point he was pretty much worried about her being queen when he was talking to Tyrion with him. So it's like at this point, if he learns that Jon is a good contender for the throne, he's gonna push his money on him next.
but that's what I'm saying. It's not gonna matter because Danny and Jon are still going to be a thing. There's going to be a little bit of ripples once his parentage is found out, but they're not going to dwell on that. They quite frankly don't have time to add in that extra drama. I think like that scene in the trailer that we see where Danny is in the crypts, that's after they found out, and Jon is sulking, and she's going down there to make him feel better. And they're going to move past it. They're still going to be united front. So either way, whether Varys switches camps or not, it's not really going to be switching camps because they're still going to be a leader unit.
I think for at least 1 or 2 episodes, there'll be like the messing of the drama that is his parentage, at least.
If they drag that shit out for 2 episodes and we only have 6, I'm going to be upset.
AK, they drug out the fact that he was dead for technically 2 episodes. So they made us wait an entire episode and a half, almost. Yeah, they made us wait 2 episodes for him to come back.
That was death. That was coming back from death. That deserves the drama.
Yeah, but it's like
that could have been 1 episode. You knew he was coming back. Everyone in the Moss knew he was coming back.
Yeah,
they could have used this 1 episode for that.
And it's just, I feel like, yeah, because it could be at the very end of, say, episode 1 that Jon finds out about this, and that we leave on that, and then the next episode would be the repercussions of what is the parentage reveal, because this has been something that everybody's been wanting to know for 20 years, pretty much.
Since the 90s, so, we've been asking.
So if they drag it for 1 extra, like at least half of another episode after Jon finds out, I wouldn't be too surprised, because it's such a monumental thing, especially if it's leading to the fact that he's going to sit the damn throne in the end. So, I don't know.
What is happening there? Is someone arguing?
I don't know. My mom.
See, she's agreeing with me.
I don't know what's going on. I think there's something on the TV show or something. I don't know. But yeah, it'll be weird to more or less with Daenerys and Varys. But yeah, it's like for the people, and she's like, "You have to check me. You have to check me when I'm doing something wrong." And it's like, Varys, you didn't do that when she.
He was supposed. She told him that, if you have doubts, come to me. Let's talk about it. Don't be a little bitch sneaking around like you did before. And what is Varys doing now? I don't know. It boggles my mind, honestly, how so many people have an issue with how she handled the Tarleys. Why would you keep them as prisoners when we're in wartime? Things are very short in supply when you're during wartime, so that's extra food that you would have to waste keeping these men alive. And 2, you gave them a choice. They could have easily chosen to go to the wall. Randall didn't want to do that, so he chose death. Dickon, being the idiot that he was, also came along and chose death. She gave them a shot. They decided to not. So yeah, you get the flames.
Yeah.
I don't see why so many people are mad at her for that.
Maybe
I still don't think so.
That's probably the death that's foreshadowed. It'll be death by dragonfire, like the thing that the sorcerer said when his parts are burnt in the brazier. That it'd be burned by treason.
I still need them to translate that. I need them to give me like a 30-second shot with Kimbara's sexy ass, and she needs to go ahead and translate so we all know what was said. And then we get to see Varys be nervous like he always is around the Red Women. And then then we'll see, what happens from there. I'm really interested in seeing if Melisandre actually brings the Fire Nation to the war, because I think that would be cool.
It needs to be at common so they can be at full strength, right?
I mean, isn't the damn comet still floating around up there?
Don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I think about it. They actually haven't mentioned it in a while. Man, I don't know how the damn celestial things move in that world.
The red comet? Which comet?
Yeah, that we saw in season 2.
Yeah, I think it's because it's the magic with the dragons, that kind of thing. It comes again with magic.
Weird. I mean, well, there's a whole hell of a lot of magic going on now, so.
Yeah, with the birth, well, it's the birth of the dragons that kind of spawned the red comet. So, I don't know. Something else, maybe magical, will happen, and another red comet will show up.
I mean, I guess we could say that John coming back from the dead was magic, but Beric has been coming back from the dead for several months, years before that, and that didn't do nothing. So I don't know.
Yeah, all the craziness, but yeah, it's like first she goes like with Danny though. It's like first you served my father, then you served Robert Baratheon, who killed my brother, and then now you wanted to serve my brother, and now you want to serve me. It's like, yeah, I didn't know about you until you were like of age and we were married. You were being married off to Khal Drogo. That's when I figured about you.
Yeah, bullshit, Varys. Bullshit, you didn't know about that girl. Cut it out.
No, exactly. It's just like, what? It's like I can say that maybe did that like just to make her feel worse about herself, but I don't know. But it's like it conspired. Like, what does she say? It's like something about she conspire. If he doesn't like one monarch, he conspires to crown the next one. It's like, yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah,
that's what you do if you're master of whisperers. Like you gotta do what's right almost. So, Varys, and then Varys gets checked when Melisandre shows up, and they talk about the prince that was promised, and now Melisandre now thinks it's Daenerys. It's like, what? But then she also talks about Jon. So
yeah, Melisandre don't know what the hell she's doing. She's grasping at straws right now. She knows Jon is important, and for whatever reason, she wants to pull Dany into, I guess because, she needs fire. Dany has dragons that spit fire. So I guess I get it, but I don't think, how she was talking to Varys later. It's like, I brought ice and fire together. That wasn't your fucking plan, bitch. You got lucky. All of her misinterpretations and everything leading all the way up to this point where she's at now, it really just seems like she's grasping for straws. There's no real plan there. She's just trying to stay alive, I guess, for as long as she can.
Pretty much. Ever since Davos told her to kick rocks, she needed somewhere else to go. And she's like, well, there's Dany. So she pretty much just went to Dany. But it's because Varys came out of nowhere, was like, hell no, you better get out of here. So at this point, now she's about to go and get what, as AK says, a Fire Nation at this point, hopefully.
I mean, supposedly, what are they called in the books? The Fiery Hand. The like high skilled priests of R'hllor. They better be able to do some shit. Otherwise, what the fuck is the point of you?
Yeah, like that's probably where she's going. Like, I am assuming so, because they made it a point that she's leaving to come back. So, but they never really had that mention that this thing exists in the show. Like, they've referenced the Golden Company a few times, so it's easy to kind of know that they exist, but it's not really, I don't think they've ever mentioned the Fiery Hand. And if so, why didn't they come when Stannis was alive? That's my kind of
I don't think Melisandre was really communicating with them when Stannis was alive, because once Dany started her rise, all of them in Essos were only talking about her. They weren't thinking about Melisandre. They were not thinking about Stannis or factoring in anything from Westeros. They were going with what was close to them, which makes me believe that Melisandre probably went rogue, misinterpreting all the shit that she was seeing, and just happened to fall in with Stannis because that's where she thought she needed to be. Stannis was important, yeah, but he was not the guy.
Yeah. True. And yeah, they like we talked about earlier, having to dumb down Daenerys for 2 seconds for us to know that the prince that was promised, the word for Azor Ahai. It's gender neutral, and that it's not prince or princess, that it's either one, which is like panhandling to fans of the show like ourselves who know about this theory. And yeah, just talk about Jon Snow trying to uppity up Jon Snow to show up, and it's just Tyrion's like, he's a good person. I met with him a few times, and he may bend the knee. I don't know, but we'll just ask him and he'll show up.
My one question with the Valyrian, how did Dany not know that?
It's to dumb down the audience.
That bugs me so much, because we had her best scene, arguably Dany's best scene in the whole series, is the Dracarys scene. And before that, she said specifically, Valyrian is my mother tongue. What is this fuck shit here that we're talking about? Missandei should not have had to interpret that at all. It's just a dumb move. I mean, I'm always happy to hear Missandei talk, but still a dumb move.
It would have been apropos if she said it herself, that it's like that word means both genders. Like, it would have been better. But I think it's just to play up the Missandei can speak multiple languages and understand the grammar.
Like anyone would forget anything that Missandei can do.
I know, but it's just like for the
Did she
casual.
even translate that much this season? Like, maybe that's why.
No.
Like, oh,
she didn't really have to.
No, because everybody spoke the common tongue that you had to talk to, and even then, Dany mostly speaks with the Dothraki herselves.
There's two of them now.
Yeah, her multiple personality is showing. And yeah, it's just that it would have been. It's just the gripe of the fact that they made her look dumb for 5 seconds. It's the same thing where they make Sam look dumb in episode 1 of this season, where he's like, oh, Dragonstone has a bunch of dragonglass. Stannis told you about that like 2 seasons ago. Like, that Dragonstone has a mountain of dragonglass on it. Like, making him either forget something and have amnesia, or just dumbing down for the sake of the audience who doesn't remember, the casual show watcher, for sake of argument. Just like,
yeah, I think we've done too much for the casual show watcher. I'm sorry. Stop making things just seem so simple. People, even casual show watchers, seriously, and I'm not saying that to like say they're any less than anything. I'm just saying it, like, people are smart. They'll remember stuff. They'll figure things out. Even casual show watchers go and seek and look for to know more about things. Exactly.
They have the previously on Game of Thrones portion. They could have easily just dumped that there, just in case they can't even remember.
So easily.
Exactly. Yeah. They could have, but they didn't do it. It's just
freaking D&D.
Anyway. Yeah. And so the next scene, I guess, is the next morning, I guess, because we get them all at the painted table and them preparing for the sea battle. And then there's fighting and all of that lovely stuff. And then Olenna gives Daenerys the speech that she needs, giving some grandma advice almost, because Olenna can't do that anymore with Marjorie. So, what a thing. Shenanigans.
If Dany would have listened to Olenna right here and been a dragon, I don't think Dany would have been worried about Casterly Rock. I think Jaime and the Tarleys and that whole army would have been burned in Dragonfire, and she probably wouldn't have lost, all the soldiers that she did lose in the coming battles. So kudos again to Lady Olenna. May she ever sass.
Pretty much took her advice in episode 4. She became a dragon. No, not became a dragon, but
that wasn't really Lady Olenna's advice. That was Jon's advice.
He did tell her to go take the dragon?
That's what made her go into the battlefield.
No, to not do what was it in the wording? It was something.
Don't be more of the same.
Yeah, just burn. Like, if you're gonna burn them, don't burn them in King's Landing. Like, go outside of King's Landing.
Yeah, he basically told her to think outside the box and direct your anger, direct your weapons where they need to be directed. Don't go to King's Landing and screw up shit for the small folk. So that's why Dany jumped on the dragon and she went into the field. If she did the same shit here and not worried about fucking Castle Rock, honestly, I don't even know why Tyrion even freaking thought about Castle Rock. They should have been thinking of protecting the Reach, but you know, whatever. Yeah. Had she listened to Lady Olenna right there, she could have been on Drogon and their whole army could have been fucked up, and we probably could have taken care of Cersei by now. You're muted, Kenzie. Didn't hear what you just said.
Oh no, I think I dropped for a second. That's why I was like, I know I should mute myself. But yeah, I think they brought up Casterly Rock because they were going to show it in the next episode. And because it's been a destination that we've heard about for a long time, literally probably since the first or second episode they've talked about Casterly Rock. So they wanted to show it off. And yes, Cersei doesn't really care about it anymore, but it's one of the kingdoms, I want to call it, that she has control over until next episode. So it's just to kind of squeeze out Cersei a little bit more. But yeah, when Olenna talks about Daenerys being a dragon, she talks about how she's known many clever men in her life, but she never listened to any of them. And that she shouldn't listen to any of them either. And she's dragon. Don't be a sheep, be a dragon.
And how true did those words ring? Lady Olenna for the win, man.
Exactly. But it's funny how Olenna goes, so you want to be queen, but you're not going to be... My granddaughter was the most beloved queen in a very long time, so how are you going to, like, one-up Marjorie Tyrell? It's like, ooh, that is a good question. How can she...
She had a point.
How is she going to one-up Marjorie Tyrell? Like, the small folk loved Marjorie Tyrell. Like, you gotta do some serious schmoozing in season 8, Dany. Some serious schmoozing. And maybe it'll work out.
Yeah, I see Dany dying, so I don't know if that will happen either way.
Right, there might not be smooshing time after all this.
Maybe the Lords of the North. That's the stretch that she'll get. The small people and some of the smaller townspeople in like Wintertown. She'll get to be like when the royal family like walks through a certain area in England, like she'll get to do that with a small segment of the population, but everybody else, screw that. It will be like that whole thing. But yeah, it's just so weird that this scene too, because they're all just fighting and be like, I didn't get to kill little girls in Dorne. It's like, I was avenging Oberyn. It's like, he died.
Because freaking Alaria. Damn it, she deserved it too.
It's like, it's been 3 freaking seasons. Get over it. But yeah, that's like the only one thing. Just makes me go. Wow. Anyway, the last scene in this is Grey Worm and Missandei, and they talk about fear, and they be all touchy-feely. So.
They be all touchy-feely.
Good way to start.
That's the introduction.
Maybe I'll touch you.
Go ahead, David.
Like, even watching this, I'm like, yeah, this is pretty much just cringe. Let me just actually just skip over this. Like, even McKenzie seeing this early before we started recording, it's like they spend so much on this. We understand that they love each other, damn it. At least anything, she could have just, appeared in his room already naked. It's like, yo, let's do this. And you're pretty much about to leave, though. And then, cut the scene, whatever. But I don't know at this point. Like, just no more of this in season 8. Please, just don't. Just don't. If anything, this probably just confirms that either, Grey Worm is pretty much going to die season 8. But still my first ones, I think he's going to be dying. I don't see Missandei dying, though. Only person out of the 2 is Grey Worm mainly, but if she does die too, I'd be sad.
I feel like Missandei kind of has plot armor, even though she's a minor character. Because if this magical baby is going to exist, she'll have to train the baby in High Valyrian and all of these other things. So I think she's
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, like I was saying before we started, I appreciate seeing Natalie Emmanuel's titties. I mean, I'm not even going front about that. I appreciate it. However, it really wasn't needed. This scene could have just been like the two of them are in a room, their silhouettes. We didn't even need to see a whole lot, and the damn door closes. We'd get the gist of what was about to happen. I didn't need to see Grey Worm and his insecurities and all that other nonsense, and Miss Andy having to, hype him up, get him back on board and all that. It wasn't necessary. It was a sweet scene. I get it. I get their logic behind it, but it really wasn't necessary.
Yeah, it's kind of like, especially because we don't get the part where the door is closed. So it's like, was the door open the entire time, and no one went by and be like, close the door?
Technically, I mean, I guess Miss Sandy is an important enough person to where she could have like a whole half a wing to herself. So maybe they didn't need to close the door. I don't know.
No, maybe. The sound echoed. If you can be like, what the hell is that coming from? And go towards the sound. They're like, oh, the door is open. Oh.
It's like a Lysa and Baelish in
exactly.
Oh, fucking Lysa.
Because it's like, who?
Another scene we did not need.
Because it's like, that's because you could have been just, that's probably what it was like, and then it's just like Danny just acting all dumbfounded.
Season 4, not season 4, episode 4, where she's like, "Oh yeah, I actually had it."
It's like some stuff happened, and just
stuff happened. Like, what stuff happened? Like, look at the look on her face. You know what stuff?
Yeah, it's like, come on, but yeah, it's I get the whole talking about fear and how he feels really bad that he feels that Missandei is the only thing that he has emotions towards, which is like, oh, that's so cute. But it's like, they could have had it where it's like she starts to just kind of undo her dress and then just be like, that's when they move on. And then we got Phil of like an extra scene somewhere, but no, it's like 5 to 7 minutes, I think, on this entire sequence. And just like, damn it. But
yeah, that's a lot. It was a lot.
But yeah, because then it just makes no sense later on when it's like, for say, Jon and Daenerys, even though I don't prefer the scene a whole too much, but it's like you could have given them like an extra like scene of them talking alone, maybe talking about his scar, even though they kind of do that in episode 6, but it's like an extra scene like that. It's like, come on.
Something more, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we're right.
And I think that's why a lot of people had issues with that. The way they built that up, they didn't quite do it the right way. But yeah, it happened.
It happens, and it's there and done. So, like this episode. So, what is your final kind of thoughts on this rating, and where can the people find you, and what do you have coming up next?
Final thoughts is Danny should have taken Lady Olenna's advice. Yeah, I think things would have worked out a bit differently and a bit better for her in the long run. But outside of that, what are we rating the episode first? Okay, let's see. I think for this one, I'll go with 7.5 out of 10 Lady Olenna speeches. Now, am I continuing? Okay, I guess next you'll see. I don't know if me and Johnny are going to be doing every weekend or just bi-weekly for the They Deserved It series. But set your notifications on his channel and mine, so y'all check them out. The pilot episode was done last weekend. It's on Johnny's channel right now. Go check it out. Get in the comment sections. Let us know who you think deserved it and all that good stuff. Coming up starting next Sunday, because we will be back with the start of the season, I'll be doing live reactions for each episode. So if you're in the Eastern Standard Time Zone and you're watching at 9 o'clock on HBO like I am, come join my chat room, watch with me, and we'll chit chat throughout the episode. Besides that, I don't think I have too much more going on. You know, there'll be other episode club things and American Gods. I know we gotta set a date to chat about that, and I need to find somebody that I can talk to about Deadly Class and the Umbrella Academy. Unfortunately, Deadly Class hasn't been getting as much buzz as I think it has. It's a kick-ass show. Check it out if you haven't. And that's about it. And thank you, Kenzie, for having me on again. You guys are awesome, and I've been AK.
No problem, AK. You're always welcome. David?
So, final thoughts. If you're having sex, always close the door because anything can pretty much happen. So there you go. I'll probably rate this episode a 7 out of 10, or I should say 7 out of buttered bread. There we go. Buttered
Brown
bread.
butter.
Oh, there we go. Thank you for playing. Yeah. There you go. I'm too hungry to even know.
You do like brown buttered bread. Like something like that. Anyway.
There you go. It was a good episode. I think I just wish that they just didn't drag out the whole Grey Worm and Miss Sunday thing, but that was good, you know, just showing us, you know, Jor is damn cured to the interaction between Varys and Danny, which again, just seeing that scene alone, I kind of wish that, you know, Baelish was still alive so he could have like I wonder like what conversation he would like have with Danny to, you know, Nymeria returning and seeing Arya and thing. Matter of fact, I might give it an 8 out of 10 at this point. It was pretty good. Besides that whole like, you know, dragon scene with the Sunday and Grey Worm. So yeah, good episode. Oh yeah, and where to find me? Phantom D Saint. Do reaction, recap, and reviews. Also co-host on the Citadel of Trivia. Not sure when specifically this is gonna be uploaded, but on this coming Friday, we're gonna do it like season 7 trivia before the season.
Before this weekend, so yeah.
Okay. So if you couldn't see it live, always gonna watch it like after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But again, thank you for having me, Mackenzie. I'm glad talking to you too, AK.
No problem at all. It was
Always
such a good time and a great conversation. I would probably give this episode 7.5. No, 7 point. Here, I'll just give it 7.75. Iconic animal comparison lines. It's like dragons are not a sheep, and then because before this one was like the keep one wolf alive and the sheep are never safe. That whole thing.
I can dig it.
Yeah, another here you go. Sigil versus sheep comparisons. There you go. And we will have talked about season 7, episode 6. I'm assuming yesterday or the day before. And we will be talking about season 7, episode 7 on the 14th around lunchtime, 1 o'clock-ish, right before the show starts around 9 o'clock, which will be so much fun. The last episode that we get to talk about before all the other episodes. And I will be on Johnny's channel, and I will be on Justin Thomas's channel, aka Top Shelf Fandom, both on Monday, talking the same episode, but so much fun. And then Wednesday nights, same time as always, 8:30 Eastern, talking about all the new episodes with new peeps, old peeps, all the peeps. And yeah, we'll see you all in the next one. And as Johnny would say, but will they really? Yes, they will. Bye.